No subject video. That's right, no subject. Really having a bad day. Anxiety. Bad. So I might trip and fall down in this video because when my anxiety gets really bad, then my stroke leg goes funky on me. It's kind of funny how it sort of demonstrates how the brain works. And that, in recovering from the stroke, my brain had to give up some resources for me to learn how to walk and do all that kind of crap again. And there's still a fight over those resources. The things that were using that part of my brain, I think, still want to be using it. And, so it's not written as permanently. So when I'm really thinking or really anxious, I kind of lose the weakness of that new scripting programming becomes really obvious because my coordination gets pretty sloppy. And I guess it happens to your overall physical coordination, but it's just made so much more obvious in the parts that had to be relearned. That learning is a little bit weak, thin, maybe it's a better word. Maybe it's not as redundant, but whatever. That's not much of a subject. I don't know if I really want to talk about how the brain works. Talk about humans and how they don't work. At least it's a functional intelligence. So maybe I'll hit that intelligence subject a little more. As you can sort of see in the comments in the last video, there's people still defending the idea that you have to give Santa Claus the benefit of the doubt because somebody said the word Santa Claus, therefore it's possible. And just such nonsense. The whole point about defining a truth is establishing it as credible and the probability of reality kind of a thing. You can't theoretically, certainty is kind of a bogus word, so you can only go with some kind of probabilistic equation. So if there's a 1 in a zillion chance of something being true, then I guess you can say it's not going to be true and quit playing fucking games. So God has no more credibility than Santa Claus or the Easter Rabbit or the goose that laid the golden eggs. They're all just stories told by idiots for different reasons, but still just dumb stories. And that's it, the end. There's no reason to give God any more credibility than any other character, fairy tale that human beings have made up to metaphor their existence. He's just another metaphor, another placeholder, another pile of crap. So anyway, there's a real difference between knowledge and intelligence. That's the other thing. When I'm talking, sometimes, I think the context makes it apparent. When I say the word intelligence, quote unquote, I'm talking about that big intelligence thing, that knowing everything, having compiled all the truth, all the knowledge into a bucket, and call that intelligence. And then there's this other use of the word, which means, it would be intelligent for me not to pick up a rock, throw it in the air, and have it land on my head. That would be a demonstration of intelligence that I don't do that. But it's not profoundly interesting intelligence. It's not big intelligence. That's little intelligence. That's the little scheming, I know some rational stuff kind of intelligence. And that's a big difference between those two things. Big pile of poop I had to step over. So anyway, so it just, if we look at our construction, you just say there's some God, then you're saying there's some purposeful being, some intelligence sitting in a vacuum, let's say, and it says, well, I need something to do with myself, and right there we're in trouble. Should an intelligence need? I don't think so. An intelligence should be, big intelligence, would be commanded by some sort of principled understanding of a necessity to do something, not its own need to do something. So it would calculate that somehow there's a necessity for a universe to exist, and then to have a whole complex system that orchestrates the workings over billions of years of that universe, of that energy, and then have it on some little planet evolve the chemistry into a reproducing organism. And again, that's the key thing. The thing that makes life distinctive is not that it acquires intelligence. No, what's distinctive is that it's a reproducing organism. Consumption and reproduction. That's what 99.9% of life is. It isn't intelligence. And it's certainly not big intelligence. I mean, even us, with all our smartification, we're pretty fucking dumb. That's sort of the point I'm trying to make in these videos, is that we've got lots of scheming intelligence. We know how to manipulate the world, both real and fantasy, to justify ourselves, to create false... Man, this color on this camera is fucked up. Anyway, false realities in defense of ourselves. But we're not philosophically big intelligent, because we still haven't got that we're just a psychology, a needful, addicted psychology. And we still haven't got the intellectual capacity, I would say scruples, because I don't think it's a capacity problem, it's just a problem of having principles and a devotion to the truth. Because if you're devoted to the truth, you're going to figure it out. We are shit. We're just eccentric psychologies that create a false value and then chase that false value. And I've tried to illustrate how, it's so obvious, because you can take 7 billion people and they'll all come up with a different definition of what means something. I mean, for some fucktard, it's winning the big game. For another fucktard, it's, securing the trophy wife or whatever. Some other idiot, it's the, money and ego, whatever, satisfaction, having everybody applaud how brilliant they are, or perfect, or beautiful, or whatever the thing is. But yeah, it's just all a soap opera. It's all just chasing bullshit, and people just keep rationalizing, finding excuses to say, oh yeah, it makes sense because we survive, or some other kind of bullshit they pull out of the archaic past and say, well, because the molecule wants to survive, survival must be a good thing. The molecule's an idiot. The molecule doesn't want anything in a rational manner. Only an intelligence can do that. And I would just argue that we squandered ours, because that's not really what we're trying to do, is figure out what the right thing to do is. We're still letting our crude psychology define the goals, and I have to really watch what I'm doing here, because I'm not functioning too well, and I could easily... Another horsefly. Damn, they're all over the place here. It's a really bad spot for horseflies. But anyway, so that's probably enough. This time, just about out of walking distance. And what else? Yeah, I mean, don't delude yourself. You have a little bit of intelligence. You have this scheming intelligence. But to tell you the truth, most human beings are completely fucking the knowledge intelligence, because they're premising it all on complete bullshit. Thousands of year old bullshit. Or else they just make it up now with their multiverses. The new god is the multiverse. And aliens from the multiverse, snuck over here and decided, we need some fucktards to, bake some double chocolate brownies. And they're going back later for a batch. It's just all nonsense. Cool.